I remember when I was a kid, feeling awful with a sore throat, and my mom would just hand me a pill, and I'd take it, right? Never even thought about what it was. But when I actually learned the truth about those little pills, honestly, I was shocked. We might actually be harming ourselves without even realizing it.
All right, let's get right into it. It's kind of like a reflex, isn't it? You feel sick, you go to the doctor, you start taking antibiotics. But is that always the right move? Turns out, that simple little habit, it's at the center of a massive global health issue.
So, what is an antibiotic anyway? Well, at its core, it's a medicine with one very specific job: to kill bacteria, or at least stop them in their tracks. And you have to remember that key word, bacteria. Not viruses, not anything else, just bacteria.
And the story of how we even found these miracle drugs? Oh, it's incredible. It's not some tale of a high-tech lab. It's a story of ancient wisdom and one of the luckiest accidents in history.
Yeah, the whole idea of using mold to fight infection, it's not new at all. I mean, centuries ago, people in ancient China were literally putting moldy tofu on wounds. Then, you fast forward to 1928, and Alexander Fleming has his big moment with mold in a petri dish. And today, get this, the hunt is still on in the craziest places you can imagine. We're talking foul-smelling mud, sewers, and even garbage heaps. And this quote, this is Fleming's big aha moment. Picture this, he's studying bacteria, and a spot of mold accidentally contaminates his experiment. He could have just been annoyed and thrown it out, but instead, he noticed something incredible. Everywhere the mold was, the bacteria had been completely wiped out. A simple accident had just uncovered one of nature's greatest weapons.
I know, it sounds nuts, doesn't it? But it's absolutely true. Some of our most powerful, life-saving drugs were discovered in what we'd basically call filth. It just goes to show you that nature's biggest secrets can be hidden in the last places we'd ever think to look.
Okay, so these things are miracle drugs. But, and this is a big but, here's where the story takes a pretty dark turn. As powerful as antibiotics are, using them the wrong way can be incredibly dangerous, not just for you, but for all of us.
Which brings us to the most important question of all. If you've got a cold or the flu, should you be taking an antibiotic? The answer is a huge, emphatic no. And the reason why is fundamental to how germs work.
Okay, so here's the absolute bottom line. Antibiotics only work on bacteria, things like strep throat or a bad bacterial infection. They are completely 100% useless against viruses, the things that cause the common cold and the flu. Taking an antibiotic for a virus is like trying to unlock your phone with your house key. It's the wrong tool for the job. It just doesn't work.
And to give you an idea of just how different these two things are, think about this. If a tiny virus were the size of the moon, a single bacterium would be as big as the entire Earth. They operate on a completely different scale. They're fundamentally different things, which is why they need totally different treatments.
So what's the big deal if you use them when you shouldn't? Well, there are 3 huge risks. First, you wipe out all the good bacteria in your gut, the stuff your body actually needs to stay healthy. Second, you can get some really nasty side effects like stomach pain or diarrhea. But that third risk, that's the most terrifying one. You help create superbugs. And this is the great unintended consequence of our miracle drug. It's like we've been in an arms race with bacteria, and by misusing our best weapon, we've basically been teaching the enemy how to defeat it. This problem is so serious, the World Health Organization calls it one of the biggest threats to global health today.
So here's exactly how that happens. It all starts when we use antibiotics incorrectly, like for a virus, or maybe we don't finish the whole prescription. This kills off all the weak bacteria, but a few of the strongest ones manage to survive. Those tough survivors then mutate and adapt their defenses. From there, these newly resistant bacteria multiply, creating a whole army that knows how to beat our medicine. And just like that, the antibiotic becomes useless against them.
And look, this isn't some distant scientific problem. What this really means is that we are actively stripping ourselves of one of the most important medical tools ever discovered. We're heading towards a future where simple infections could once again become deadly.
So this all comes down to us. Understanding this isn't just interesting trivia, it's about recognizing that we each have a personal role in preserving this medical miracle.
This is the core message right here. Every time we take an antibiotic for a virus or we don't finish our prescription, we're not just making a small mistake, we are contributing to a future where these drugs might fail when we or someone we love desperately need them.
It's a sobering question to ask, isn't it? By trying to get better faster from a simple cold, are we chipping away at our own defenses against much more serious threats down the line?
And that's the ultimate takeaway. The real danger of misuse isn't some side effect next week. It's that years from now, when you're facing a life-threatening bacterial infection, the medicine that should save you might have become powerless. And that's a risk none of us can afford to take.